Okay, today is November 2nd. Today is January 9th.
No.
No.
How about June 9th?
And we're off to the races, folks.
All right, today is June 9th, 2022. It's 11 o'clock, which means it's marketing toolbox time. Today's topic is marketing funnels. Now, I don't know if you've been around for a while and you've heard my spiel, but I'm not a big fan of funnels. I prefer the colander method. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. If you missed last week, the replay is on the website. You go to momgeek.com and then you click on blog and then you click on marketing toolbox replays. And here it is. Welcome kits and onboarding clients. And who got their Papa? Who got their? Isn't that cool? I'm really pleased with the way it turned out.
I love mine. I wish I
love
would
the
have
way
brought
they
them.
turned out. So, I was very pleased. This is one of those inspired moments where I can't believe how smart I am.
I love those.
Did you get yours, BJ?
I got them, but I didn't make the lollipops yet.
Oh, you have to make your lollipops.
I haven't either. I just got it yesterday and I opened it this morning. So,
well,
I haven't gotten it yet.
You don't have to necessarily put it on the stick. You can, just use the card. But thumbs up, yeah, good, all good.
Got it somewhere. Got it somewhere. I have to find it.
You'll find it. All right. Well, so that was really fun. All right. So I have this keynote that I created years ago called Who's in Your Colander? And it's about rethinking your marketing funnel. And I'm just going to talk to you today about this one-page sales colander method. So a funnel is the process of a sales funnel is kind of slimy. It doesn't feel very good. Here's what it looks like. You create awareness, right? You create awareness, and then you create interest. Then you help the client make a decision, and then you inspire action, which is them giving you money. So people go into the funnel and they keep getting smushed until they come out the bottom. Well, to me, that feels pushy, and it also feels tight. And if you've got too many people in your funnel, you could get a clog. And my friend Robbie says that cows get funneled to their deaths. So sometimes you lose people in a traditional funnel, in my opinion, because they're all clumped in. I mean, if you got a whole bunch of people in the clumped in, you can't really see who they are. So I developed this idea of a colander, because with a colander, you put your contacts into the colander and then you rinse them through your you love on them, and the people who aren't your ideal client get washed away, and the people who are your ideal client, they stay in the colander. So what does that look like on this one-page sheet? All right. So if you've been around for a while with me, you know that I teach the one-page marketing plan, which has 3 steps: your before steps, your during steps, and your after steps. It's actually 9 steps. So the before is when people become aware of who you are. That's when you identify who your ideal client is. You tune a message that your ideal client wants to hear. And then you create your platform, and your platform is your colander. So for most folks, their platform is their blog or their website. For some folks, their platform is their social media presence. And for some people, it's a book that they wrote. For some people, it's that they're a speaker and they're out doing public presentations. So you create your platform, and this helps you gain awareness with your potential audience. And so once they know who you are, then you build rapport. This is the part where we're rinsing the colander. We're rinsing the cucumbers in the colander, getting rid of the dirt and the bugs, and we just want the cucumbers in the colander. So third-party validation is really important. This is where you give testimonials, and you let other people say nice things about you. You follow up with them, and then you help them make a decision on what is the best plan for them, what's the best purchase option for them. So at this point, because we've done all these things and we've filtered out the bugs in the dirt, everybody at this step, at the decision-making step, is a client. They're going to buy from you because there isn't anybody left who isn't going to buy from you. They've all been rinsed away. So then after they've made a purchase, after they've taken action, that's when you give them the world-class experience where you treat them like gold. You follow up. You always follow up. I don't care how long ago they purchased from you. They need to be hearing from you at least once a year. And then you teach them how to give you referrals and ask for testimonials. So that's the one-page sales calendar method. And do you see how there's no way that anybody could get clogged in this system? Because the people who aren't a good fit for you have already been rinsed away from the calendar. Di's typing. I love it when Di types. She takes good notes. All right, that's the class. Anybody having questions? From here, what do you want me to dig deeper into?
You said there were three steps, but there were actually 9 steps. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so awareness is step 1, the before prospect, the before step. Rapport is step 2, and action is step 3. So before, during, and after. And then each of those 3 steps has 3 parts, 3 sub-steps. So
I
it's,
see.
it's before, during, and after. And this part right here never stops. It never stops, ever. I mean, I have had twice in the last year and a half, actually twice in the last year, I have had people come to me and say, Candace, I'm ready to start send out cards. And both of those people I've known for over 10 years.
Wow.
Because I've been with send out
So-
cards for 10 years.
So Candace, what does that look like when you say follow up and repeat business? Give us like an example.
So well, the number one way is that you're always sending them cards, right? They get 2 or 3 cards from you a year. Follow up also looks like if they're following you on social media, you just make sure that your presence on social media is perfect. You know, you don't ever do anything that's gonna repel your ideal client. Now, I want to address that repel your ideal client thing, because right now there is a lot of political turmoil and the world is splitting in 2, it feels like. And there are people who are taking extreme views on one side and people who are taking extreme views on the other side. And it feels like there's no middle ground. So in some cases, you want to stand by your values, right? If you have a set of values and you don't want to do business with people whose values aren't in alignment with yours, it's okay to take a stand. But in reality, no one is going to be 100% in alignment with your values, right? We just have to figure out where that middle ground is. So just be cognizant that something that you say may offend, and be really strategic about how you say it. But it's okay to take a stand. Just remember that when you take that stand, is it in alignment with who your ideal client is? I know that was a little tough. I see some pondering thoughts.
Yeah,
Okay.
the way I look at it, if I take a stand, I want to make sure it's in alignment with who I am, and not so much as who my ideal client is. But in taking a stand, I want to be clear on my communications, and it's not divisive stand; it's an inclusive stand, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But I would focus on what my values are and not so much about what my ideal client's values are.
Well, if you're doing
Now-
it right, your values and your ideal client values are,
Match,
Yeah.
overlapping. They don't always match.
they
but
don't do
overlap.
this, but they do
Right.
this. Service after the sale. This is the first box of that one page thing. So our service after the sale is you want to give them a receipt. You want to make sure that, you follow up and make sure that did your order ship? Did you receive your order? Did you like what I did? How did that work out? Those kinds of things. You want to keep that communication. You don't want to just deliver, even if it's a service, you don't want to just deliver and just leave it. You want to make sure that they actually received it and they liked it. And always, buyers are twice as likely to purchase from you again if you send them a thank you card. Buyers are twice as likely to purchase from you again if you send them a thank you card. So always send a thank you card. This is our tacky thank you card that we were sending 10 years ago for our furniture business. Super tacky. It's all about us and not about the customer. However, even though it was tacky because it was all about us and not the customer, people still took action on my request in the card, which was, we'd love to see a photo when you have it set up. If you notice, there's the card right there on their desk or on their credenza. So I don't send cards like that anymore. Now I send cards like this. I just send a picture of their furniture and make the message all about them. And then on the back of the card, I include a photo of us just in case the customer doesn't know what we look like, and I send a gift. So this is the thank you card. And then following up after that, see, what do we have that following up that? Do I have anything on that? No, I do not have anything on that. But following up after that is, well, let's just talk about it. What are some of the ways? Let's have a conversation about this. How do you want to be followed up after you've purchased from someone?
I think definitely the thank you card, like that example that's in that book that you gave me, I read it, where he talks about the car sales guy. And I just think, God, it's so true. Like, especially a big purchase like that. If I was a sales guy, I would definitely want to keep in touch with those people, because if they have other referrals or if they have children that might need cars later down the road. So definitely that first thank you card. But yes, that one, human connections. I keep thinking, how else can I keep in touch with some of my clients? I mean, I think we talked about this last time. I do send a thank you here and there. I'll send a gift. But what else can I do to really keep them engaged?
Do you send email? Do you have an email list?
I do not have an email list. No.
So I personally, if I was a virtual assistant doing exactly what you do, I would be giving tips on how to do what you do, because when they realize how complicated it is, they're going to want to hire you to do it. So you can send out a monthly email, just a month. I mean, my acupuncturist that I used to go to in Texas, I'm still on her list because I want to be on it. But she only sends it out once a month, and she always includes tips on what to do to stay healthy. And, she might feature a product or whatnot. Oh, I do have a slide for that. I have a slide for that.
I was thinking of a newsletter, doing a newsletter, like a monthly newsletter with tips and tricks, like you said.
All right, so I do have a slide for this. So here are some things that you can talk about when you're, this is follow-up, right? Whenever you have a new product or new service, let people know. When you have an example of a custom job that you did, share it. Do behind the scenes. Like right now, Maxine, you are sitting at Panera and you are working. Grab your phone, take a selfie with your computer and say, here I am sitting at Panera working. What can I do? How can I help you with your, with your business? How can I help you get out of your inbox? Testimonies and client photos. Anytime someone says anything nice about you, that needs to be out there in the world, and you need to tell people about it. People love pictures of pets. So if you have a pet, put it out there. If you don't have a pet, everybody has a pet something. So if you don't have a pet that's a dog or a cat or a fish, you have a pet that's a kid, you have a pet that's a husband. you have a pet that's your garden, if you love gardening, because people like to relate to who you are. Recipes. Every time I post about kimchi, and if I make kimchi, I haven't made it in a few years, but every time I make kimchi and I post pictures of it, people want to know how to make it. So if I post a picture of kimchi, I should probably include how to make it. And that's real. Okay. So there's another thing that I am Korean, right? And so when I'm posting pictures of kimchi, I'm also connecting to who I am as a person, my family history, my historical history. So that makes me unique because how many, honestly, raise your hand, how many Irish, English, Koreans do you know? Italian, Irish, English, Italian, Koreans, right? Who had two ancestors fight in the American Revolution. How many do you know? You don't know very many. So that makes me unique. So why, spotlight your uniqueness. Oh, Maxine's got bugs. It's probably a bee. Poor Maxine. I hope she's not allergic. So people like recipes. People like to learn more about you. People like behind the scenes. DIY tips. This is go back to what I was talking about with Maxine. Teach people how to clean. If you teach people how to clean up their email inbox, they're going to appreciate that you've given them tips. But then when they start to do it, they're like, oh, I just want to hire Maxine to do this because it's complicated. It's not complicated once it's done. But if you hire Maxine to do it, then it's easier on you. But if she shows you how to do it, that I swear it sounds counterintuitive to teach people how to do what you do, but it's not, because they will hire you. They will hire you. The more you share, the more they'll want to hire you. Share about other people's products. So if Maxine, her gig is being a virtual assistant, but she loves send out cards. So why wouldn't she every once in a while say, hey, I really love sending these cards, or look at this card that I received in the mail, right? Feature other business owners. So especially if you belong in a networking group, I could Tracy and Rashid are working together on a balloon twisting class, right? That's
Tomorrow.
That's cross promotion. It's cross promotion. They're promoting each other while promoting themselves. Talk about your community. When I first moved to Michigan, I took a lot of pictures and posted them on social media so I could show people why I moved to Michigan. And then interest related to your product or service. So that's let's see. The example of Maxine taking a picture of herself sitting at Panera, especially since she's got, look at how beautiful the reflection of the sun is in the window and everything. Such a great photo, right? I don't know if you can see it, but you've got some really cool lighting going on. That's an interest related to her. She has a mobile business. She can work from anywhere, and that's interesting. And she tags Panera, right? Panera sees it. They may or may not like it. And companies that have really good social media presence, they will like your post if you tag them. When I posted about going to Meyer Sculpture Garden here in Grand Rapids, I posted about it, and Meyer Sculpture Garden commented on my post, right? The zoos do this too. So if you tag where you are, they may interact with you, especially the ones that are really active on social. So those are things that you can do to follow up with people, to promote yourself, to share your story. Does that help? Because follow-up isn't necessarily about calling down and saying how you doing. Follow-up is about touch points, and those touch points can be on social media. I once ran into Toastmaster. I mean, I haven't been in Toastmasters in years, so social media hadn't even been around that long then. I was at a Toastmasters event, and one of the women that I had been in a chapter with before, but I hadn't seen her in years, came up to me and said, I read every post you make. And she never liked or commented, but she read every post I made. So you don't know who's reading them. So, put them out there. And I swear, whenever I post pictures of my cats, those are the most popular. The cats. Because they're ridiculous. My cats are ridiculous, right? So
how do you take good cat pictures?
I try to frame them and not have any of my dirty laundry in the picture. That's it. I don't really put a lot of effort in trying to get a good angle. But usually when I take pictures of them, they're doing things like hugging each other, or, my very favorite picture, one of the cats is looking at me and the other one's looking at the other cat, and it looks like the front of an album from the 1980s. And don't fuss about how good the picture looks. It's just about putting this stuff out there. And Maxine likes to talk about how you need to make a long post. Long posts are great, do those too, but sometimes you can just post a picture with a hashtag. Sometimes, I mean, it's just a matter of, and remember, in alignment with who you are, in alignment with who you want your clients to be, and, you know, try to stay in the middle as much as you can. Because most of us live in the middle. And we have views that kind of tilt this way. But all we hear about ever are the people who are way over here and the people who are way over here, when in actuality, most of us are right here in the middle. So stay right here in the middle.
How do you like send out cards funnel? You said it was
Oh,
good.
God, it is the absolute best thing that Send Out Cards has ever done. So let's look at the Send Out Cards funnel together and talk about why it is awesome. I think we covered this a little bit last week, maybe the week before. So this is the new Send Out Cards greeting card funnel. This is a marketing funnel. All right. This is awareness. We are getting to know, we are seeing Send Out Cards. Our job as Send Out Cards referral partners and affiliates is to share the funnel, right? So we are creating awareness for this. And then when they get to here, they've got the learn more button. They got the opportunity to just go ahead and sign up, or they can send a free card, right? And this free card, Send Out Cards pays for it. You don't have to worry about paying for that. Send Out Cards covers the cost. So when they click on learn more, it does all the things that I told you about at the beginning, right? It gives a third-party validation. It talks about why you need to send cards. It talks about the benefits of sending cards. Third-party validation is down here. It shows you how the process works. So this is a behind the scenes video. Samples of what it looks like, and always asking for the sale. The postcard program, third-party validation, a little bit more about the kinds of cards that are available, more reasons to send cards and what the benefits are, more third-party validation, more third-party validation. What about the relationships that matter most? Other ways to use the system, more third-party validation. I don't know if you guys know this story right here. Cindy Justice, her son sent a card to a woman and then they got married. So Send Out Cards, sending a card led to a marriage. All right, it's a great story. And just everything about this funnel helps you sell Send Out Cards. So let's go back to the slides. Let's find that.
And every time somebody sends a card from your link, it populates your funnel, not Send Out Cards corporate, but yours, because it goes through your link. So make sure you share it the right way.
Yeah, you make sure you put your ID number right here. And if you want,
I have a question.
Mhm.
So thinking, is this something we can put in a QR code and put it on the back of some of our cards?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I was thinking, how do we share that? Like, do I send it in email to people? Like, but I'm thinking now, if
So-
I'm sending the cards and they like the card, they can click on that and that gives them more of this.
So you
right?
do your mailbox check branding on the back of the card. And then if you liked this card and want to learn how I sent it, hover your phone over this QR code. And it doesn't have to be big. It should be small, just a prompt. But when you start your email list, if you start an email list, there's no reason why you can't say, hey, I've been using this service called Send Out Cards to send cards and gifts. And if you've been on the receiving end of one, you know how awesome they are. Here's a link to how you send one. Hey, here's a link to check it out if you'd like to add that to your, or we can add this service to our virtual assistant service. Right? We can, if you would like us to start sending cards and gifts to your clients, let's have a conversation. That's an even better way of doing it, because then you can add them as a client. Funnel. It prompts you to send a free card so that it collects their address and their phone number and their name, right? So it prompts them to do that. But let's look at, where were we? Let's look at this. So awareness. Awareness is us sharing that link and getting them to the link. So that whole thing, the process of us sharing that link is the top blue bar. All right. And then rapport is what that page does. It offers a free offer, which is send the card for free. It gives third-party validation in the form of all those testimonials and the little videos. And then after they put in their information and give you after you get their email address, then it's up to you to follow up with them. So you could, you send an email. Hey, I saw that you checked out Send Out Cards. Do you want to have you want to set up 20 minutes to have a conversation about how it would look to use that in your business? Hey, I saw that you sent a Send Out Cards link. Here's a link to some tutorials on how to use the system. Hey, I saw you set up your Send Out Cards account. What are you doing on Tuesday? Or what are you doing on Thursday? My friend Candace hosts this class where she teaches people how to use Send Out Cards. But it's your job at that point to send make that connection request. And then during that conversation, you help them decide what plan they want to be on. All right. Sometimes they sign, like this morning, I did my presentation in BNI, and by the time my presentation was over, I heard a little ding that I got a new customer. Right before the presentation was over, one of my BNI members had signed up. Okay, and then so after they've become a person, a Send Out Cards customer, they've gone through that whole funnel process, then it's on you. So everything this is Send Out Cards did this for you, and Send Out Cards did this for you. So they did create your platform and they did the free offer. It's your job to get people to the platform, and it's your job to make sure that they see the free offer and the third-party validation, and then everything else is on you. So you have to follow up. You have to help them make a decision. I believe that Send Out Cards has an email series that they're sending out. Am I right or am I wrong? Are they doing follow-up for us with the funnel? Are they, Kathy? Do you know what what does that look like, Kathy?
I haven't seen it, but I do remember them saying that once someone clicks on your link, that they will be getting a series of 5 emails describing all the other parts of other than Send Out Cards, what's available.
Oh, okay. So they're going to try to sell you the other streams from Greener Still. Okay. So we're going to give them a world-class experience, right? We're going to want to make them feel like, oh, wow, I'm so glad I made the decision to do Send Out Cards with Maxine. I'm so glad I decided to sign up for Send Out Cards under Kathy. You're going to give them a world-class experience. And we talked about what that looks like. And all those follow-up ideas are just sharing your story. It's not about following up. Hey, Rashid, what you doing? That's good too. It's also touching on them with, your emails, your email list, and your social media feed and any of that. But then, every once in a while, hey, Rashid, how you doing? I was just thinking about you. And then learning how to ask for referrals and testimonials. So I'm going to take you over here. This is how I asked. No, that's not it. This is how I ask for testimonials. Every piece of furniture Shane creates is one of a kind because each client is unique. And we would love to see how you added your own style to your Shaker Studios chest of drawers. We'd be thrilled if you text your photo and then the phone number. So I asked for specifically what I want, photos. And then the clients would send me photos, right? So that's one way. So what does that look like with Send Out Cards or real estate? Let's use Susan Real Estate. After Susan's done with a sale, she sends her thank you card and gift, she sends a card with the couple in front of the house, their brand new house, holding their sold sign, and then she includes a gift. And in the thank you card, she says, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate what you've done, blah, blah, blah. And then maybe on the back of the card, if you enjoyed your experience with me, please consider reviewing me on whatever service realtors are reviewed on. If you enjoyed your experience with me, I'd love it if you share that experience on social media. Or even better, she can take a video and say, do you love your new house? How do you like your new house? And just that asking, share how you like your new house, right? They're going to say in that process, and Susan was such a great realtor. We really enjoyed working with Susan. And then she has a video. Right? This would be great for Maxine's husband's movie business. right? They set up they come to your house or your location, they set up a screen and they play movies on a screen. Well, as people are leaving, you can have someone with a camera, and a selfie stick. Oh my God, Maxine, I'm about to make you millions of dollars. All right.
Let's see.
You set up your camera with one of those selfie sticks that stand up, because as soon as people see those ring lights, not selfie stick, ring lights, as soon as people see those big ring lights, they're like, what's
What's
going on
that?
over there? People are drawn to those ring lights. You got somebody there who just says, how'd you like the movie? And they're going to say, oh, it was a great movie, but they're also saying, I really love being able to watch the movie in my backyard. And then you take those video clips, those 60-second clips, and put them on social media. Oh my gosh, I really enjoyed watching a movie in my own yard. I really enjoyed being able to watch the movie from my swimming pool, right? So you set up the camera, you've got the ring light, and people are going to go, oh, what's the ring light about? And then they come over and you just say, what'd you think of the movie? You don't ask for a testimonial. They're going to give it to you anyway, because they had so much fun watching the movie. That's
I love
exactly
it.
Tracy Peck. You can do this exact same idea. Rashid Huda, if you guys can pull this off by tomorrow, you could do that after the workshop tomorrow. What do you think of the workshop? Let's see the balloons that you made, right? And if you can't pull it off with the ring light, at least take a picture of everybody with the balloons that they made. Look I learned how to make these 3 balloons, right? And then send the thank you card to them. That's that for this week. What do you want to talk about next week?